Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Austin, and in this video, I'm going to be recapping this week's trading. It is Thursday, so I still have tomorrow, Friday. But as most of you know, I've been kind of, you know, honing my skills trading futures, and it's just overall not been going well. But this week I did feel like I traded pretty good. Besides Monday, I traded horribly on Monday, but other than that, I feel like I've been really on point. And I feel like I'm really starting to get there. Unfortunately, Monday was so bad that I'm actually going to be, I'm, unless I have some sort of miracle day tomorrow, which I'm not going to be shooting for, and is probably not going to happen, then I will be red on the week. So let me show you guys what we're looking at here, on the week. So Monday was just an absolute disaster. So I'll get into those trades, and like I really what could have solved like all of this, and I've talked at length in multiple recaps now about just what's going on the month. So if you're curious, how exactly this has happened, before this I was green every single month and really doing well, and then I started trading futures, and wow, that volatility really got to me. But what could have prevented all of this so easily was just a simple $1,000 loss limit or anything like that. But stuff like that's not really in my blood, but hopefully I going forward I would like to implement something like that. So I'm gonna implement that rule starting now. And I've talked about the strategy that I'm using for futures. And that strategy. I think I started doing that. I forget exactly when, but the strategy is basically looking for spots where I can take 10 points of risk on the ES, which is equates to $500. So even if I shot twice and hit, my stop on both of those trades, I should be sitting at down 1,000 on the day. These are big blow up days that really just should not be happening. But other than Monday, I'm actually pretty encouraged with my trading this week. And then hopefully tomorrow, the first day of July, we can get off to a good start. And hopefully July can be a kind of, a miracle month. I mean, that would be ideal. But anyway, so yeah, Monday was a complete disaster, and so we'll talk about that. I do want to just briefly touch on the trading, the my Top Step trading combine that I started. I think I started it last week, and on Monday and then Tuesday, on Tuesday, I broke the rule of exceeding the $1,000 daily loss limit. On Monday, I took $1,000 loss, but it was like 990 whatever, so I stayed, within the rules technically. Um, and then on Tuesday, I broke the rule apparently. Basically what happened was I got short on Tuesday, and I was short in an NQ contract, and I was short in a a Nasdaq contract and an S&P contract. And I got short I somewhere, I think I forget exactly where. It was somewhere around here, or here. I think it was somewhere here. Anyway, the point is, yeah, I think it was right here. I was short an ES contract and an NQ contract, and basically what happened was I was already down like 300 on the day, and in these fluctuations, I think I got short like down here or something. And in the drawdown, which I was like just totally gonna hold through, I was very confident in the trade. Within the drawdown, it automatically exited me out of the position, and then I tried taking the trade again. Like, it automatically cut my position once I hit like the drawdown of 1,000, and then it prevented me from trading anymore. And so like that's it. Like I failed the challenge. But I guess I just didn't understand the rule, because which is, my fault. But you know yeah, so I drew down $1,000, and I failed the challenge, and then, you know, minutes later it rolled over. I would have been up literally thousands on the trade, and ironically, just probably 30 minutes later, I would have passed the challenge. So, I feel like, okay, all right, I failed, I guess. Like, it just was a little frustrating because I took barely $1,000 of drawdown, was still in the trade, and then, 30 minutes later, I literally would have passed step one. So like, all right. So after that, I'm not really in the mood to like like pay Topstep $50 to like reset the account. I haven't canceled my subscription with them because I may attempt it again. I'm not really sure, but like after that, I just kind of feel like, all right, let me just trade in one account and just like try to, I don't know. I was a little discouraged. It just was like whatever. Okay, so let's talk about Monday. Monday is right here, and this is the disaster day. So I think I traded NQ. Yeah, so I definitely traded NQ contracts as well. And let's go to a 5 minute. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail on this Monday because to be honest with you, I don't really want to talk about it that much because I can't believe I lost as much as I did. But it's really not a mystery why I lost so much. It was kind of the perfect storm for me to just go back to old habits. First of all, I got long before the open and was looking for a rip up to highs. I mean, before this, we'd really been kind of just stair stepping up, so I was kind of just following the trend. But right off the open, we pulled back into 1900 support, and you can see what I should have done was stop out for a 10 point stop below this low. I mean, I don't know why I didn't do that. I think I just thought maybe it was going to rip back up, big wick, and then I'm not really sure. It was just a stubbornness, and I think I had a red overnight trade, and so it just was a disaster. Not cutting this, and you can see I held it. Looks like I held for a pretty long time. But anyway, so I took a huge hit, basically a 30-point loss just right off the bat. Probably should have just called it there. But I obviously revenge traded, and you can see I traded NQ and ES, and you can just look at some of these losses were just absolutely just terrible. So, um, anyway, so yeah, I was long one contract here. I mean, you could see just the choppiness here is insane. I did have a long here. This was kind of interesting because I got long, let's see, 1905. So this is a bad entry as, we've got kind of resistance here and support here. This is just, yeah, just very revengey trading. This is something I hope to just put past me. I'm not going to be trading like this in the future. Um, so this was definitely like a page out of 2 weeks ago. I felt like I was the same trade. I feel like I was just making the exact same mistakes in this choppiness. And so after Monday, I was really like, okay, I need a system for identifying chop days where just price isn't really going anywhere. And I just need to be better at like just totally avoiding these days. But this long was interesting because you could see I got long 1905. I put my stop under this low. So if I take that hit, it's going to be pretty bad because it's going to be, another over 10 points of loss, which is like another 700 bucks. And you can see right here at this wick, um, we actually came and wicked down, and this is a perfect double bottom. I was a quarter point away from getting stopped out, and then it ripped all the way back up. And then, well, I did get stopped out a bit later on into the after hours. I was up on the position, and then I thought we were pulling away from this level, but then we broke definitively through this zone. Oh, false breakout, right back up, and then I would have been up, 30 points or whatever. So frustrating for sure, but you got to get out when a level breaks. So anyway, so that was Monday. You can see just really just reckless revenge trading, and then pretty much throughout the rest of the entire week, I really kind of stepped up to the plate, and I was a lot better. You can see on Tuesday, I was much more patient. I did not trade off the open. We got this big rip. I did not here, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of the volume subgraph because it's just distracting and I don't really need it. So I was patient off the open, although I did get long after the first 5 minute candle, or sorry, I did get short on the NQ, and boy, did I have a massive home run trade that I took a loss on. I mean, I got short here at 39, and I just totally got I guess I don't, I'm not going to go to a 1 minute, but basically what happened was we got this flush. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to mute myself. Oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. Oh my God. Bear with me. Okay. Oh God, this is one of the worst feelings in the world. Okay, so I did not sneeze. That's terrible. All right, so I got short toward the high here. Let's see, 39, so a little bit premature. So up here, you can see that we actually put a wick. We broke through the high just barely, and I was really smart to not stop out there. Um, we immediately kind of came back down, and then I was trying to be patient. You can see I'm holding this trade for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then we wicked down, and then down here I was up like 500 on the trade or more, or like, yeah, I don't know. But then as we came back up, I just got scared. The 1 minute candles were, it was like three 1 minute hammer candles in a row back to the upside. So I just was anticipating like a full on rip back up through the highs. What I should have done was just set my stop right at the high, and I would have not gotten stopped out. And this was really just a home run trade that I was totally um, out front of, and this just was really, really awesome. What I was looking at on the 15-minute was this kind of setup here, which just right off the open, this big rip, I don't buy it, man. It doesn't look bullish, right? This whole setup just doesn't look bullish to me. This isn't this isn't a strong enough bullish setup for a run to the highs, in my opinion. So I was really just getting short at this top, looking for kind of that head and shoulders to play out. That's what I was getting short in front of, but it was just that patience part of it that I was having trouble with, and that I did not do well enough on. It took about 20 minutes to really start to fully roll over. And so you can see I covered for a loss as we came back up to 45. So it just was just bad on me to not be patient there. But then as we started to come down, I had a few scalpy trades here, which I regret. But then here I finally got short 12, 16, and then I was short. Let's see, this was at 725, and then I covered for, like a nice 65 point winner here right toward the low. I got a nice exit here, 39. And I mean, obviously I could have held for like another 200 points, or literally 300 points almost. Um, but as I got out of this one, about 10 minutes later, I actually got short in the ES, and I caught a huge 40-point winner here. So Tuesday was really a great day. That was over a $2,000 day for me. So making back a good portion of what I lost on Monday. I was really encouraged by Tuesday. And just the fact that Monday was so choppy and I failed so badly. And then Tuesday, really nice trending day where we get really nice decisive direction. And so my ability to kind of make money on these days where we're really trending hard in a direction is really encouraging. And so hopefully, um, if I can get better at those chop days and literally just eliminating blow up days, I feel like I can be a successful futures trader. I just have to like literally not blow up. Like I have a problem with stubbornness and with my emotions, and like I need to like basically walk away on those chop days much earlier and just, not get frustrated. So, and so on Wednesday, we had another total chop day, and this is a lot choppier even than um, even than Monday was. I mean, look at this. This is really choppy. But on this day we've got like a 30 plus point range, almost 40 points, and this day was really, really interesting. So this one I was literally just playing the levels, although I wasn't aggressive enough here. So off the open we plummeted down to fresh lows, and I knew this 1800 was going to be support. I'm not going to go into like all the analysis of like looking at the longer time frames. That's something I do pre-market, is to like identify all the levels and the zones that I'm going to play. But 1800 was definitely a zone that I had marked out, and I wanted to get long in front of it, but I wanted confirmation that we were going to hold. In hindsight, I really should have just gotten long here and then set, even a 5 point stop at 1800, 1802, 1801. Like, I would not have gotten stopped out. So, in the future, when price comes this aggressively down towards a level that's really kind of key support, I should really just be stabbing long there, and then set kind of a stop, Um, because you get such a better entry if you're in down here. I had a pretty bad entry here at 22 as we started to rip up, but I knew that the target was going to be this high here. So although I did kind of get in late, and you could say that I was chasing it, if I go to a 1 minute, you'll see like I was kind of right in there on that rip, and then um, So yeah, I was a little late to pull the trigger. I saw it at 16, 17. I hesitated. I remember I was hesitating a little bit, so I did miss out on some points there. But we did rip right up, and I was instantly up on this trade. And then we came all the way down to VWAP. I was like break even, and then we ripped up to 40. And when we came up to 40, we hung out there for a little, for like 2 minutes, and I could see price like right up against 40, and there was a huge seller there, and we could not break it, and I should have just gotten out, man, because this is this is I'm not key resistance. I thought the reason I didn't get out was because my target was this 1855 zone, and I was really trying to hold for a much bigger winner here. And coming off the back of Tuesday, I just had it in my mind that I could get these big winners, but I really should have just gotten out. And I did not do that, so that was my mistake. I let this come all the way down, and you can see I was holding this trade for so long. I actually took some heat on this as we came down to 14, bottom end of this range again, ripping right back up to 40 basically, not getting out, looking for that rip, because once we get the break of this level, it's going to be big. It's just it did not ever happen. So that was on me for not getting out. I ended up stopping out at 25 for a measly like 2.5 point winner. Um, and then I had some scratch trades and went red on the day. I mean, this was, yeah, so I was actually ended up red on Wednesday, and these I just kind of over traded this in this chop. And so I went red, but I did do well to kind of try to be smart, and you can see I only took about $150 a loss, but still I should have just, in these chop days, I should just be buying at the lows and trying to sell at these highs. I did some of that. You can see I bought here at oh 06. We got a nice rip up. So here's a nice 6 point winner, but it wasn't all bad, um but anyway, yeah, definitely some over trading here. Here's like a $300 loser on NQ, which put me red on the day, I believe. That was the trade I took after I stopped out here or whatever. But so anyway, really choppy action here, but better than Monday. I mean, if I had come into this day with the same kind of, thing going on as Monday, like this is a lot even choppier than Monday was, arguably. So, kind of my frustration from not getting a nice winner here. I was up like 800 on this trade. Like I just, not taking profits has been really, really hurting me. And so I need to be, next week I want to get better at just taking profits at the first level of resistance that's in front of me, right? Do not anticipate that you're going to break a zone that's just been, acting as resistance for, the whole overnight session. Like it's clearly a spot of resistance. I should have just gotten out. Um, so we'll talk about today. Looks like I did not trade any NQ contracts today. ES only. So this one today we have clear resistance at 85 here, and we came up and tested that right off the bat. I was pretty patient on the first 5 minutes, it looks like, and then I got short pretty aggressively down here, like pretty much at the low of this candle as we broke down through the overnight lows. This was a pretty aggressive stab short, but was pretty certain that if we're breaking the overnight low, again, playing those levels, I just play level to level, and when we break through a level, then the target becomes the next level down, which was, in my mind, 35 or 36. I had my exit on this short at 36, and we did not get there. So again, not taking profits. In this case, it didn't hit my target. Yesterday, that first trade, it didn't hit my target, was much higher at 55. Um, and then here, my target was literally 36, and I had my order to get out there. But, once again, we did not get that low. And so even though I had an aggressive short here, took a little bit of heat on it, but then it did come down. I was up nicely on it. Again, up like 800 on the trade. And then it went against me. And I can go to 1 minute on this one. Uh, as this spiked up, I ended up, covering right here at the high of this candle. I just felt like it was the right thing to do because who knows if we're just going to rip right back up and start squeezing out of this. I knew that this kind of 35 to 40 level was support, and we were getting awfully close to where I wanted to get out. So I could see it happening where we're going to get some legs here and start to push out of this level. So I was very quick to just get out, and then the next 1 minute candle just flushes back down. But I've been trying to not look at the 1 minute chart at all while I trade, because it really, I feel like, has been so bad for me, because what I really want to be doing is capturing moves on like the 15-minute time frame or longer time frames, get bigger kind of moves on these trending days. Um, and so I just try to play level to level, but this one again, it just missed me by a few points there. And so what was, gonna be, a 1,000 point or $1,000 trade, ends up I got out with like $100. Like it was just so frustrating. So then, that frustration is in the moment hard to get past. So you can see I got right back in short right here, and then ended up covering for another 6 point for a 6 point loser, and then I went, I think, red on the ES. So it's just that frustration starts to set in, right? Where you have a winner on your hands, it rips against you, and then all of a sudden you're revenge trading and go from red to green, or green to red. And then right here, once again, getting long, or it looks like, no, I shorted here for one more attempt as we started to come down, 54.25, and then it just ripped me off for another 5 points. So, like, once again, just like, some scalpy little trades that I should not be taking on the 1 minute chart. I know I was looking at a 1 minute chart when I took this. And so that's what I mean when I say the 1 minute just gets me in trouble. It's just not worth, like, this is just not a trade I should be taking. So, um, it just, that was a mistake. So when something frustrating like this happens, I really just need to take a step back, reset. And so luckily I was able to do that after these two kind of bad scalpy trades where I'm taking these L's. As I start to be a little bit more patient, start to step back a little bit. I remember at that point I was down 350 on the day. So again, I went from up unrealized like 800 to down 350 after these terrible trades here. So uh wait, I'm trying to look at this. Oh yeah, okay. So uh, now I remember, so as we came back, we pulled back and then we ripped right back up. And on this candle, that's where I got long, because here's the deal. If I go to a 5 minute, you'll maybe see this more clearly, but we came down through the overnight lows. We hit that 3740 support. Here we ripped up, and this was right at the spot. If it went any higher, I was going to get long. The reason for that is this is kind of support right here. This blue line is pretty critical. So if we break above, then all of a sudden this starts to look like a V-shaped, false breakout to the downside, which is, it's very common for this to produce a short squeeze back to the upside, which is exactly what happened. Here we pulled back really far back, but then as we ripped decisively up through this high, I was like, all right, this looks like V-shaped short squeeze action, and the target's now going to become 85. So that's where I got long at 68. I went up on it, I went down on it just a few points, but this trade did end up working out for a nice 17-point winner that put me back up to green on the day, $500 green. So this was like an $850 trade right here. Um, and I am frustrated in hindsight because you can see how it continued, but from, from yesterday, Wednesday, not getting out at that high, right? Looking for continuation, not getting out at resistance, getting greedy, not taking profit, how that killed me so bad. Monday, or uh, or yeah, and then on the same day here, not taking profits down here at this low. There's a couple key trades here where I didn't take profits and it totally burned me. So I forced myself on this trade. I'm like, 85 is the resistance. It's the first level resistance from this morning, and the overnight session. It's a level, and so that is where I'm forcing myself to get the exit there. I was red on the day. If I get out there, I'll be, decently green on the day, a nice $500 on the day from being red. I'm forcing myself to get out there. But I have to say, all these red pullback candles, this whole action just looks very coily to me. And, on the 1 minute, you can see it too. Look at this kind of coiling action. It really did look good for a continued move higher, and in this case, forced myself to get out at 85. Um, I, it's hard for me to say that I don't regret that. Just a few minutes later, it ripped up almost another 10 points. I mean, it's hard not to salivate over that. A decent pullback here would have put me from where I got out, but whatever. This thing went up to 80, 38.20. I mean, I left 45 points on the table or whatever that is. So it's tough, but it just feels frustrating. Like the one time I actually do the right thing and get out at that first resistance level, it wants to continue without me. But whatever. I took one trade because of that, because I felt like it was going to keep going. I decided I'm not going to let anything take me red on the day from here on out. So I did take one MES contract, just to kind of put a little skin into that thesis that we were gonna continue. I didn't really want to go below 500 on the day, so I ended up taking this off after it started to pull back here. But in hindsight, I was looking at this chart. I didn't have my my lineup, which I guess I should put right here at 85. It was really just a perfect back test and then continuation off that level. This is really really nice. I do wish I had gotten long on that 37.85 back test. That is a thing of beauty right there because we really started to accelerate once we got off that level. All right, so that has been the last several days of trading for me, and tomorrow is Friday, and it'll be the 1st of July, and then we have a 3-day weekend, and this will be my last recap that I'm doing before I go back to Boston and in my main setup. So next week, my of trading, I'll be back at my main setup. The live streams will be commencing a couple weeks from now, like about in a week and a half. I think July 12th, I'll probably go live and stream for you guys my futures trading. Hopefully by then I've got a little bit more green to show for all this. But I do feel like my trading's in actually a decent spot. Monday was a total disaster for sure, but since that I feel like okay, Wednesday was a chop day and I finally established that I can like not lose a ton of money. And then Thursday, a really, today was actually really on paper a frustrating day where I had a nice winner on my hands and then uh, didn't really capture it. And so, that's usually a spot where I would just totally get frustrated. And yeah, I had a couple scalpy trades after that where I lost money. And so that was a mistake. I'll continue to try to get better at that. But then I was able to kind of reset, go back to playing the levels. And then, once we broke through this high, I was getting long again, and I got a nice level to level move here from this level to this 85 level. And that's really all I'm in it for is just capturing a part of that move, getting myself back to green, and taking only a few trades on the day. And so um, definitely, I think the last 3 days have been pretty encouraging. So I really want to keep it going. And like, yeah, I'm in a terrible spot in my trading, but you know what? I'm just taking it day by day. And I know this looks bad right now, but um, I just want to look forward. I just want to look forward, and so that's all I'm gonna do. And yeah, I'm actually really really excited. I really like trading futures. I actually really am enjoying it, and I'm actually very confident in myself right now. So I feel like I'm in a good spot, and it's a shame about the Topstep account for sure, but I do feel like I got a little bit gypped. I basically had like a 4,000 plus dollar winner on my hands that it stopped me out of right before I was gonna start getting that. Like it's just you can't even make that shit up. Like whatever. Um, so anyway, all right. So I probably won't post another video for the next several days. But when I'm gonna be back next week, I'll be back, and so that'll be great. And yeah, I will. Um, check in with you guys next week. Guys, if you did enjoy this video and you do appreciate these recaps and the content I'm putting out here and you get something out of this, please, guys, hit the thumbs up button. It really does help me out and kind of promote this video for more people to see. Um, and yeah, subscribe and all that good stuff, guys. That's it. I think that's all I got to say. So. Again, I'll see you guys in a few days. I'll make another update. All right, bye bye.